Something interesting happened to me the other day, and I wanted to tell people about this because it's really relevant to anyone who has a business, wants to start a business, or is thinking about starting a business, and those who are not really getting the most out of their life as they should be. I was sitting there one day and my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number and I usually don't answer it, but I felt like I should answer this. So I picked up, said hello. On the other side of the phone was this guy. He's like, hi, is this such and such? And he named my old business, and I'm not sure why people are still calling my old business because it's been closed for a while now. But anyway, he called me and said, hey, is this such and such business? And I said, yeah. What can I help you with? And so he said, well, I was wondering if you can help me. Can you give me some advice? And I was like, what? That's like one of the first things he said to me. Like, he wants my advice and he doesn't even know me. He just found my number. Anyway, he said, I want some advice because I have a machine shop over here and on the other side of the country. I'm in Arizona and he's on the other side. and I'm going to call him Robert. So Robert said, look, I'm 66 years old and I have a machine shop, and I'm a small machine shop, and I have one employee plus my wife works with me, and um, I've had this machine shop for 30 years. I started when I was when I was 36. I'm now 66. So this guy was 66 years old. He told me he works 7 days a week, 7 days a week for 30 years. Now, wrap your mind around that. You don't take a day off. Don't take holidays. You don't. You have a sick day. You're showing up working sick. Um, and he was telling me, look, I'm 66. I want to smell the roses before, it's too late. He wants to take a little break, right? And he's like, but I don't know how to do it. All of my time is spent with ordering materials and doing all these, paperwork and all this stuff, and it takes so many hours out of my day. He's like, how do I get out of that? Like, how do I take a break? And I want to, you know, have someone else do it, but I just don't know how to go about doing it. And so I let him explain the rest of his story and think it back to when I was in a similar position. I wasn't 66, obviously, but I was in the position where I had to do all the stuff myself, from sales calls to ordering to design to manufacturing, all that stuff. And yeah, I'd had messages from customers at 11 o'clock at night. you know, I mean, I enjoyed that part of it, but I didn't do it for 30 years. So anyway, I listened to him and I thought, you know what? There's some there's something that my wife was telling me and other people were telling me that I was like, no, 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 it couldn't make sense. But the key is to hire somebody else. And that's what I didn't do. I was like, I'm just gonna save money. Um, you know, if I can, run to the mailbox, get the mail, and I don't have to pay someone to go do that, then I'm saving money. And I felt, yeah, that's great. But the thing is, I had a certain shop rate, right? So I was making, I think I was charging like 75 to 100 bucks an hour. That was my shop rate. And if you put it into perspective, so if I went to, I had to go to the store, go to Home Depot or something, pick up a tool, come back, and it took me, say, a half an hour, and I'm charging $100 an hour. That trip to Home Depot alone cost $50. Okay. Instead of hiring someone for $20 an hour, which, half an hour would cost you $10 for them to run to Home Depot, I just blew $50 instead of putting someone else in charge of that, right? So trying to put it into context for this guy, I said, look, anything. Well, first of all, you've got a certain shop rate. This is how much you want to make or how much you need to make. Say it's $100 an hour, okay? Anything below that, you want to either automate or delegate, Because if you're going to do it yourself, you're wasting money. You're wasting time. Time is not money, because you can always make more money. You can't make more time. Okay, your most valuable resource is time. Okay, and if you're going to spend your time on something below what you're going to be charging, you're wasting it, man. You need to find somebody else or something else that can do that for you, maybe even better than you. Like, I wore all the hats, and I thought, I'll just learn what I need to learn, and just figure it out as I go, and I don't have to pay a specialist or whatever else. But if you're going to wash your car, and someone's going to charge you like, $25 to wash your car, but your shop rate is again $100, and you both take an hour, you could have saved $75 right there, right? So what I told this guy is, look, you want to automate as much as possible. So anything that you get a computer in control of, even not AI nowadays, there's programs out there that'll do your paperwork, and go to Fiverr, pay someone $10 to take care of something. Even your marketing, your advertising, all that stuff, you don't have to do it yourself. So what I told him is, said, automate as much as you can, but try to hire someone part-time, 20 hours a week, to take care of ordering materials, doing your paperwork, going getting your mail, washing your car, anything that will not take you away from using your $150 shop rate to make more money, okay, to bring in more clients. Because at the end of the day, you're the king of the ship, okay? If you're owning your company, or if you want to own a company, you can pay people to do the smaller just easy tasks or whatever else, but you are in charge of growing that company, you're in charge of running that company, and you're in charge of delegating the stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Okay, so anyway, I told him that, and he said, oh yeah, that makes sense. Can I call you in a couple months just to kind of give you an update on how it's going? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man, yeah. But partially it was like out of pure curiosity. Is like, I've never had a call like that before, and I just really want to know if my advice helps him, because a second part of this is there's things called ask holes. Okay, so they'll ask you advice. I don't know if you've heard of this before. Someone will ask you advice. Hey man, how do I do this, whatever, and you've got the perfect example of how you went through something, and they'll ask you advice, and you're just like, you lay it on them, like, this is what I did, this is how I made it, whatever else. And then you check in on them later on, and you say, hey, how did it work out? And they say, no, I didn't do that. I just, I wanted to ask somebody else, maybe get a different answer or something like that. Like, why'd you even ask me, man? Like, so that's why I'm hesitant, I guess, to give advice to certain people, because I feel like I'm wasting my breath. I'm wasting my time. And if they're just going to ask around and find out what really sits with them better than what I said, go for it, man. Don't listen to me. I don't care. If you're going to ask me something, at least do me the honor and try it out, right? So anyway, I guess the moral of the story is time is not coming back, okay? Money, you could always make more money. You could always come up with new products and new things to sell. But your time is the most valuable asset that you're not going to get back. So anytime that you can gain money, or gain time, if you can gain time anywhere, do it, right? Pay someone to wash your car, pay someone to order materials, pay someone to watch your kids or something, pay someone to mow your grass, okay? Because your time is the most valuable thing, and their time is valuable to them too, but they've got to make a decision in their life. So I would say, stop wasting time, hire somebody, automate what you can, and do the high value stuff yourself, okay? Because that's going to help you grow in your business, grow in your life. At the end of the day, you're going to feel better about it too. So Anyway, I hope this really helps. And if you get a chance, go ahead and check out my ebook. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.